Hi, Art for Life. This is our second project. This is a figure drawing. Well, it's kind of like an abstract figure drawing along with line and pattern and shapes. Your first step is to find some full-length poses of people and go through magazines and pull out, anybody that's got poses. If you don't have magazines at home, just find some pictures on the internet and do the poses. Like if you don't have a printer, I would just do your best to try to hand draw it or free draw it. But once you have your poses, this is how I end up starting. I'm going to take some tissue paper or some tracing paper, and all I'm going to do now is outline my image. I don't want to get the facial features. I don't want to do too much detail. I do want the clothing, but I don't want to do too much of it. So you'll see here what I end up capturing in this drawing here. It is important to separate each thing. So what I mean by that is I want to be able to see the shoes separated, the legs or the pants, depends on what they're wearing, separated. I want to see if this lady's wearing a skirt. I want to see the shirt, the face, and then the hair separated. And then her hands are in her pockets here, so I am not going to be able to draw that because they're in there. So your main goal is to have these separations, okay? So I would say about 3 or more people, okay? So then your next step is, here's all my drawings. I have all different things going on here. Your next step is to take your piece of paper that I have for you and start playing around with where you want to put these traced out people in a composition. Think about maybe a theme of some sort. And once you figure it out, then you're going to end up tracing them onto your picture, okay? So as you can see, I have my 3 images that I chose, and I traced them here. A good way at home to trace something is if you take your paper up to a window and just put it up against the window and trace it. That works just like a light table, okay? So now I have my images on here, okay? Now what I'm going to do is figure out what I want to add to it. I ended up drawing like this microphone right here into this woman's hand. I'm thinking like maybe this is like a music theme, like maybe they're in a band or something. I drew some musical notes here to take up this space. And let's see, what else would I want to do? Maybe I'll, repeat some musical notes up here. I don't know. Maybe I'll connect like a string to this musical note here, so it looks like it's the cord to their microphone. All right. And then in my other spaces, maybe what I'll do is just take a ruler and divide these spaces up. Okay, and you'll see why I'm doing this. You're probably like, why are you, just putting random lines in there? Well, my goal is to get different segments in different areas so that I can go and do different patterns in each section. Okay, so I have my composition already. As you can see, I started doing my patterns right here. And I'm just going to, it's almost like you're doodling. I'm going to continue with this pattern. So I'm going to give you a fine point Sharpie. I want you to use the fine point Sharpie. Don't use a big Sharpie. You want to try to get as tight as possible with your designs. I don't want you to go, I'll do it in pencil because I don't want to have it go through. I don't want you to do designs like this in your hair, like big designs and just lines like this and call it a day. I want you to really focus on doing these nice tight patterns here, and sometimes I want you to color in some areas. So we're also going to be thinking about contrast. All right, so we have pattern, we have contrast, we have lines, we have shapes going on. Those are the elements and principles that we want to focus on, okay? So I'm going to continue with these circles here. And maybe because I colored in these ones I'll just leave like this. Now, normally you wouldn't really see this on somebody's legs, or unless they're wearing like pants with this pattern. But we're not focusing on realism here. Okay, so we're just focusing on this interesting composition with patterns and lines, shapes. The kids in class right now are doing this, and it's very therapeutic. It's just kind of, you get in this zone and put some music on and just start doodling. And there's no wrong to it then. Okay? Alright, so I have all my patterns on here. Here, I'm going to color these in because I want to have that contrast before, where I'm not coloring in versus coloring in. Okay, so I just want that opposite thing going on here. Maybe here, I'll end up coloring all this in. Maybe here I'll do some other type of pattern going on. Let's see, and then like a different way. What could I do? Maybe I'll just follow the contour of the dress here, or the skirt. And I'm getting my lines really tight and close together. Okay, and just kind of keep going. Here, maybe what I'll do is just color this one in solid. It'll really make this pattern pop. So in some of your areas, you can just color it in solid. Okay. And these solid areas, you actually, I'll give you a couple different Sharpies to work with. You might need a thicker one to color it in, or else it'll take a while. So I'll stop there. And then, you do that with all your patterns. So then you'll go to the background. You'll do the same thing, and I'll actually show you mine. I don't want to keep going here with it, but you can see my background now that I started. So I have like these sections divided up. I just put some random lines coming down. And here is my one pattern going on in this section. And then I have another one going on here, another one here, and here I haven't finished. I just, started with it. I might keep this actually white, because I feel like it might be too much if I don't leave some white. So I have, this is where it's contrasted again. I got white, but I also got a pattern, and then another pattern. All right, so it's just kind of like a back and forth thing with pattern, no pattern, really tight pattern, some of them just colored in. All right, and that's pretty much it. So have fun with it, and if you have any questions, please let me know. All right, have a good day.